This is going to be quite a challenge for us. Herodotus 1.31.1 through 5. And this time, we see the second part of the two-part answer given by Solon, the wise man of Athens, to Croesus, the most important person of his time. And the second part of the answer is motivated when Croesus is so dissatisfied with the first part of the answer, that the most olbios of all humans is telos, that he says to Solon, well, okay, who's the second most olbios of all humans? And the answer is still not Croesus, of course. Now it's another example of cult heroes, and this time there are two of them. And their names are Kleobis and Biton, and the narrative is rather complex, and we'll try to hit the high points here and then maybe go back and think about it some more. So here's a festival of Hera in the city of Argos, which is where these two boys are from. And Hera, of course, is the goddess of being on time and the goddess of perfect cycling of time. And at her festival, as we see in even the English translation, it was absolutely necessary for the mother of these two boys, who just happens to be the priestess of this goddess Hera, to be conveyed to the sacred precinct of Hera by a team of oxen. Absolutely necessary. And this has to be absolutely on time. But the trouble is, the oxen that are supposed to pull the wagon that is taking the priestess of the goddess Hera to the precinct of the goddess Hera, the oxen are late. The person who's tending the oxen has not managed to drive them to the city center on time. They're not on time. So this is real trouble. This is ritual trouble, because if you mess up ritual time, you mess up cosmic time, and you mess up your own life. You just can't have that. And so, since the oxen are not on time, the two boys start pulling the wagon themselves. And this is going to be a very long journey, 45 stadium lengths. Wow. And not only that, by the time you reach the place where the precinct of Hera is, then you have to pull the ox cart up the incline, a very steep incline. I have gone up that incline many times myself, but certainly not trying to pull a wagon behind me. Yeah. After this feat, which is a true marvel of human stamina. And it's interesting that earlier we were told that both boys were prize-winning athletes. And we've already seen the ritual implications of the word athlete, that it's a sacred concept for a sacred activity, for something that is notionally sacred. Well, anyway, so after they've managed to fulfill this task, their whole life became fulfilled in the best possible way. And that happens when the mother of Kleobis and Biton, she's so happy about what has happened. She's perichares, overjoyed, as we see in 1.31.4. She prays before the statue of Hera to make it possible for the happiness that she has had to be enhanced in the maximum way. She prays for the very best thing that can possibly happen to a mortal. So at this point, the sacrificing begins, and the two boys go to sleep right then and there. And then they never wake up again into our world, because they wake up into the other world, the world of an afterlife. And they become called heroes. And the people of Argos worship them, and they express their worship by, among other things, dedicating statues of them at Delphi. And one of the marvels of modernity, we've lost so much, is that towards the end of the 19th century, these statues were dug up at Delphi, and now they're in the museum at Delphi. So when you go there, you can see them.
You can actually see them.
You can actually see them. So how's that for an answer to King Croesus?
Yes.
So just as telos, these two boys achieve hero cult. Their mother prays for the best thing that could possibly happen to them, and it happens to them. And that in itself is described as a telos, a coming full circle. Just as the first example of who is the most olbios is telos with two L's. Now these two, having achieved this fulfillment, are the second examples. So now the question is, what's the lesson to be drawn from this? And I think for that lesson, we need to see what happens to Croesus. So we stop for a moment.
Okay.